Hi, everybody. This is Jenny Lisa Kong again. And also, it's our Soulful Women's Journey video series. Today is our episode 6. I am with my colleague, another soul purpose coach, Rosalind Smith here again. Hi, Ross.
Hi, Jenny.
Thank you. Yeah, good to connect here again today. And we talked, with our topic last time. Tough stuff happens for transformation, because this is really the whole current situation. But today, our topic goes to, do you have to push all the time to make your life happen? So Rosalind, me and you, we came from that world, and I know many of us, yours and my audience, they all share that. So let me just start this topic, by this question, because my son is, an athlete. When I was younger, working in corporate, I also believed that, of course you need to push through, all the championship achievers, athletes, nobody just, get there easily. If we don't push, how can we get there to succeed, right? So this was always in my mind, so that's why, I kept pushing and pushing still until, to the end, I felt like, wow, I didn't notice it's out of the balance already. I didn't respect, honor my body messages, the symptoms come up. So maybe, I like to challenge you, how do you think when people argue with you without pushing, how can you get there? I know you have, tons of, tons of cases, situations. So can you share with us, your understanding or, some of your stories on your way?
Yeah,
about that.
Jenny, that's amazing question, because there's so many different layers to this. And firstly, I was like you, I pushed. It was the pure grit that got you through. And it was almost like the strongest person would succeed. And so you had to be, I believe in being motivated, but you had to push and push to make things happen. And on one hand, yes, it got things done. But as a soul, I can honestly say I was soul destroyed. And this was the point I was on my knees. I thought I was doing everything right, but everything was so hard. It was challenging because I wasn't looking after my body, my health, my mental state, anything, because it was about, well, this is what you do in life, isn't it? And this is about conforming, because this is how I was brought up, like many people, where it's instilled in you that you have to fight for what you want, and you have to go. And we're not learned ever in school that we live in synchronicity, we listen to our own intuition. We don't do that. So we have this fighting energy within us, and that sort of repels everything else off, because we've lost so much touch with ourselves,
Yes.
And there's also another thing that I find very interesting is what I used to see as success, now understand that success is a very personal thing to each and every one of us. So instead of me thinking now that success is chasing the pound signs and yes, we have the bills to pay, yes, we want to live comfortably, but that I need to see X amount in my bank, and I need to be driving this car or doing all of those things. It's not about that. It's not, for me, success is not, I like nice things, but I don't need all the materialistic things. Success to me is peace within, is contentment for me. And it's took me the 17 years that I've been training in this way and healing myself to realize, and I feel very tearful as I'm saying this also, that
yeah.
I can honestly say that I feel that now. I can be driving down the road in my car and I literally can burst into tears that I feel at peace. I never in a million years ever thought that was going to happen, or if it was achievable, doable in any way.
Oh, yeah.
So I think with what, you know, backing on what you said, I feel strongly that people really need to probably sit down with pen and paper and dump out of the mind onto the paper, what does success mean to me? Not what somebody has told you that success is, because we're all very different. And I think at that point, when you can set yourself free from this society cycle and you become your own independent person of,
Yeah.
I'm okay to want to feel like this, even though that's very different to what other people believe, you're getting very close to hitting jackpot.
Yes, wow. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Ross. And I am so appreciated you brought out the topic of success here. Because, you know, that's also me. That's why, you know, we worked, you know, to support each other for many years and to understand the depth there, you know, following the society value and, you know, the belief to pursue external success. So that's, you know, really, you know, making us really keep going and going. So nothing is wrong with, you know, about fighting, about, you know, pushing, you know, only if underneath it's all aligned. So adding to what you said, I really love to share because the work, you know, I do, and I think also you do, right? So we help people not only just relieve, you know, deal with some kind of surface issues, because after so many years of working and our own experiences, we know underneath every single issue, no matter it's in which area in your life, there are just so many different layers, pushing this concept itself. So when we need to keep pushing, you know, let's think about that. If you close your eyes, think about pushing. I always, when I did this, I always had the picture that I had to push a big stone ahead of me, right, in front of me. So it really means like, you know, you have an imaginary stone or big rock ahead of you. And you spend a lot of energy, consumes you, right? A lot of energy to just push. And this stone and a rock, it's always there, making us actually, why it's there? Because subconsciously, from certain points of, you know, view in our life, with our previous experiences, or from our parents' life, our tribe, or whatever, somewhere we pick the belief that life is not that easy, it's hard. So it's hard. So that's why we need to push. And then when we do this work to push, when we were younger, when we are still strong, have a lot of energy at the beginning point, that's okay. We keep going. But then it's like becoming tired, more and more tired. And then those messages from the body, from our body symptoms, our mental states, emotional states came out. We didn't, you know, pay attention. We ignore them. Keep pushing, right? But then our, you know, emotional like state, more unpleasant feelings because I really don't really want to do it. I'm reluctant to push. Actually, I'm doubting now. Is it really where I want to go? I don't know, but everybody goes and I should go. So I should be there already. So still not, I still have to push. I don't have choice. I lost the freedom and, you know, all these kind of emotions. And We don't know how to deal with those emotions. Just push them down and got stuck inside. And then when we push, we spend another part of our energy to suppress our feelings. And then, you know, we have less healthy energy really to take action, to connect with what we need to do. So the results, you can tell, it's already, you know, discounted. And then when we don't see the good results and compare ourselves to others, that's what maybe the society do to us, our parents. For me, definitely, my parents always compared me to others when I was a child. So now I compare myself to others, right? And then when I didn't see the results, we feel more upset. So now we come back to judge ourselves, blame ourselves, and became more, you know, emotional, like, you know, unaligned. So causing us more energy. So this cycle we are in finally made us trapped. And then our health situation came up, also putting us in the lower energy level. So this cycle, if we keep going, we finally, you know, do something, feel a bit better, and then fall back to the same circle. So that's what we can see. That's a lot of what a lot of people keep doing and are dealing with all different seemingly complicated issues. So that's why we said, you know, this pushing with, you know, we have so many underneath layers or blocks us actually getting our way to really get there. So with that said, how can we do to really stop pushing? Then people say, okay, so now I don't push, especially under the current situation, crazy pandemic situation everywhere. So it's so challenging for all of us. So we would say either it's really too hard to push now because it's the hardest time. You know, nothing is under your control anymore. You cannot predict. Everything is uncertain. So even you push, you don't know where to go even. So, or we said, okay, things, we can do nothing. So we stop pushing, then what? So it's empty. It's really hard, very, very challenging. So do you have any tips, Ross, on that under this situation? Now what can we do?
I do. And the first thing that I want to just address with what you've said is that this is the biggest cause, I believe, of depression, is because people are not reaching their expectation. Sorry, I will say that.
Yeah, expectations. That's okay. Yeah.
So they have this expectation that this is where they're going to be. This is how many children they're going to have. They're going to be married. They're going to have this size house. They're going to do, and then when they don't reach that, you know, or they haven't got that job that's got that secure pension that they used to have, previously in generations, then because people are changing their careers now, a bit like what we have. We've come out of what they call the norm, and we've broke out to be coaches and therapists. And, you know, it wasn't heard of, it was heard of years ago, but not as much as people are coming out today with this. You know, there was in those secure jobs that got those pensions, etc. So this is what's happening now, is people are not reaching those expectations and then becoming quite depressed. And so we're building, and it's a global, I think this is an epidemic within itself, of people being on more medication than they really probably need to be. They just need to know that your expectation is, you know, if we take a step back and, you know, we look at things at different angles, that what you're trying to reach, it's okay not to. It's okay, because that actually probably is not your path anyway. And that's why it's so difficult and challenging. And I won't go any further with that, because I know it takes us into another topic. But I heard the other day of this is so perfect timing, is I was listening to Michael Neal, and he was saying that when we're looking at listening to our inner voice, our own
Yeah.
intuition. A great exercise is to give yourself 2 hours of sitting in a chair. And, you know, and he's quite right that people would say, I can't sit in a chair for 2 hours. I'm
No
far too
way,
busy.
2 hours, even not 10 minutes, right?
I've got so much to do. And he said, when you sit, you know, you're not going to move to do anything until you feel deeply inspired to, because we need to take a step back, right? To be in tune.
Yeah.
So I quite liked the idea of this, because he said at first, when you sit, your mind's going to be running all over the place. You're going to be thinking about all of those things. And as women, we've got the washing to put in, we've got the ironing to do, as well as working, you know. But he said, you've got to get through that and just sit until you feel deeply inspired that there is something that pulls you, that gravitates you towards what it is that you want to do. And then you get up and do it. And the more that you practice this, the more you become in tune with you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bit
doubt.
like, I know it sounds a completely different topic, but it's a bit like that. I likened it in my own mind to when I work with weight loss clients, being in tune with their own stomach, because they've got used to so overeating and filling this void and doing, and it's about listening and knowing that they've had enough. They're not used to listening anymore. They've shut off from their own body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we're talking
totally.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's pausing. And this is an ideal time right now with what's going on. Because, you know, we all have things to do. But if you've got a bit of time on your hands and you're driving yourself crazy, why not just sit and then wait until you feel deeply inspired to get up and do something and do that job, and then sit back down again until you feel deeply inspired. Because what we do is we get up every morning and it's momentum. We put the kettle on, we make a breakfast, and we carry on the day the same way, where it's automatic.
The habit.
And it's breaking the cycle of that.
Yeah.
Because you don't change anything. Even people have the same route to work. They don't change anything because that's what they know. And we're talking about the same thing. So we're talking now that to be more in tune with you, then this is how we stop the cycle, because your intuition, your higher self, universal guidance will be able to then help to guide you to that serendipity, to that synchronicity.
Yes. So true. Thank you for that. Yes. You really point out, you know, this, you know, really the key, you know, for us to connect with ourselves, because we mentioned about the pushing today, pushing and pursuing external success. It's really like if you keep doing and comparing yourself to others, it's really like try to achieve something similar to theirs. But the problem is we are not similar to each other. None of us is similar to each other, right? So you mentioned success is a very individual, personal thing. That's it. So for me, I really love to bring up, you know, the concept of the alignment, because I worked in the corporate world before as a career coach and a career consultant. That's what I did, helped people to move, climbing, you know, to climb on the career ladder, right? Climb higher and with more power, title, whatever, more money. But then I found, you know, with my transformation, this is not today's topic, that will not cover my story. But anyway, finally, things happened in life and I went through my transformation, came out. The biggest lesson I learned is really about the alignment. The alignment with our true self as who we are and what we are meant to do here on earth in this lifetime. So that's why finally, you know, I know you have your journey as well. We shared a bit last time. Finally came out to become soul purpose coach. Every person, when we were born, actually we were created and designed with a purpose. And every person's journey, purpose, the destiny is different. So if we only push and pursue other people's general, everybody's, path, the journey, and then we lost our own. That's why we lost the touch and lost the alignment and the balance. Because when we do something others feel happy to do, we will not feel satisfied, like in our soul, at our soul level, no satisfaction. So eventually we need to come back to ourselves and now come back to the current situation. It's the best timing for each of us. Actually, we could take advantage from the free time we are given. We are actually having a bit more free time than before because of the shutdown or whatever, we could not do a lot of, external, outdoor, outside things. And then it's the best time to come and go within, reconnect. So really find out. When the amazing part is when we stop pushing and start to connect with ourselves and do some, healing and, quiet our mind. And then we are in a more relaxed state. When we do less or even do nothing, especially in our mental mind state, do nothing, we clear, cleanse, and release. Then we come to the centered place in this space in the middle of our head, somewhere there, right? In our mind. It's not empty, actually. It's coming back to the centered place, empty out those don't need to be here, actually. Unclutter our minds. And then we are in the place where we have room to really know who we are. And now we become more intuitive. We become more creative because we are relaxed. We don't need to push, leaking, have all the energy leak anymore. So we reserve all the healthy energy with us. And knowing, now we start to see and know from our internal mind's eyes. And the solutions for our problems, or even, at the moment, maybe it's just the time we don't need to do. We just need to take a break and a rest and, let our body rejuvenate so that we can heal and come back to become more energetic and healthier. So maybe that's what we need to do. Just like you said, sitting there for enough long time, and finally, actually, you start to see and know. So all the answers that we have been seeking actually are all there inside of us. But just because we are too busy pushing, trying, driving, that's why, we cannot hear and cannot see. Really, we need to come back home in our heart instead of staying in the head, busy spinning all the time. So for me, I mentioned many times before, but I love to, repeat this again. Even though you don't have, 2 hours time or so, you can still do short, meditation or, relaxation and a centering exercise. Just, close your eyes, sit there, bring yourself all back to the now moment. And when you come back, it's not just physically stopping their activities, right? When you come back, you stop, drifting in your mind. Bring all your being, your mental, emotional, spiritual being, all back to this current moment. So your whole being is here. And then you will feel the whole difference. You suddenly feel like all the noises are gone. You are here, very quiet, safe, center, you're grounded, and you are secure. You are not that anxious anymore. So the now moment. So
if it's okay with you, Jenny, I've got a grounding meditation that we could give out with this.
Okay, let's do it. Yes, want to, respect, our audience, your timing, right? Yeah. So we will put our, links there, about the way to connect, and the Rosalind, definitely her exercise will be there. And I will also have my, videos about centering, also the exercise on YouTube. We will put it out there. Welcome to check it out. And hopefully it will be helpful, to support you to come back to the center place and feel, peaceful. And joy is still there, even though the external world is real, like really, shaking or whatever, right? So yeah, so time is up for the topic of pushing today. It's a huge, huge one, but we just hope that we threw something out to, have you start rethink about yourself, about your purpose, about who you are, your, internal stuff, what the layers are underneath your situation. And welcome to let us know your feedback, and in case you have questions. And we will see you until our next video series, right? Next episode. We will talk about the topic and come back. Okay, thank you, Ross, again, to be with me today. Thank you for everybody for your watching. See you next time. Bye.